What's poppin', Rob Television? Welcome back to another reaction with your boy. As you can see by the title, man, yes, I'm back with another Larry Legend reaction video. Now, this video is recommended by Irish Girl. You see by the title, this is Larry Bird's 50, 40, 90 Club Founder video. Now, we know Larry Bird put up some phenomenal numbers throughout his career, healthy and injured. So, I guess this video is going to be detailing that. So, shout out to Irish Girl for his recommendation. Once again, if you guys do have any videos that you want me to react to, make sure that you drop them down in the comment section. That way I would know. I might not get them out there to you immediately because I'm getting so many more comments than I expected to get, but eventually I will find the time to get them out there to you. But you know what we do here, man. I'm going to talk you out of depth. Before we get into this video, do me a big favor as always. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Click that post notification bell to be notified on all things Rob Television. Roll through 2K, no cap. Let's check the video out. Now, y'all ain't seen me drinking in a long time.
Possibly the greatest of all time. Today, we're looking at the legendary Larry Bird.
When I go out and shoot around by myself, anywhere, before a game in the summer, I always try to start out about 15 foot from the basket and work my way around the perimeter just so I can get loose and then maybe go a little bit further out or a little bit closer.
He carried his college team to a championship.
I had some friends who I kept in contact with while I was still back here at Indiana State, and they never saw Indiana State or Larry Bird on TV. So because of the numbers that he would produce, they assumed that Larry Bird was a black player. And I thought, never thought of that, but they just thought that, a guy can do that kind of thing as far as score and rebound and dish out the assist.
That was sick.
Must be a black athlete.
All-American, we go to the finals, we lose to Michigan State. After the game, he tells me, oh, I need to go to the boys club, I need to work out and shoot, I need to work on my game. Hey, we had a great year, man. What are you talking about? I'm going home and I'm going to brag. I'm not going to play any ball, but that's just the difference.
As a rookie, he took the Celtics to the conference finals.
I came in to the league. I played a small town. I did very well, and everybody always said, you didn't play against anybody. I went to Indiana State, same thing.
As a rookie, he led his team in points, rebounds, and steals while averaging 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, shooting 47% from the field.
A favorite Larry Bird story?
Larry is such a unique personality. I don't have necessarily stories on him. What challenges me is I marvel at people who think the guy's a hick. Larry is one of the smartest, pragmatic people I know. And my mother, God rest her soul, was very bright. Coach Knight and Bill Russell are probably the two brightest people that I know. Larry is maybe right under that in that category. And when people keep talking about him being a hick, Larry understood what he understands as well as anybody is personalities and people. And that's why
a lot of people only say that based off where he's from, realistically.
And that's why he would do his junk talking for airing here on radio, because he understood people who would let that bother them and what they would do when it bothered them. That's the way Larry, that was his gamesmanship.
Did he talk trash on the floor?
Oh, definitely. But, he always talked trash. I remember he talked trash against us, talked trash with against every.
But like I said, though, too, is it trash talking when you back it up? So basically, if that's the case, you might as well say he's just speaking facts. Trash talking would be you saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then it don't come through. Now, what he's saying he's going to do, he delivers on that promise, too. So I see facts.
Everyone
you
knows.
Feel me?
But, the difference is he could back it up. He could back
it up.
I remember, like I was saying, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, a lot of my friends was like that, So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. He can whatever you were saying for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody.
So your guys are saying, how can you let this guy?
Oh, he's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah.
Even though the NBA had just introduced a three-point line that same season, Bird averaged almost 2 attempts per game and made 40% of them. In the 1986 finals, he was just a few rebounds and assists away from being the first player ever to average a triple-double in the finals.
What I try to do,
Double.
just come out and get good rotation on the ball, get the backspin, try to get a good release, and I always focus my eyes on the rim.
I tell you, we went through a lot of battles together, and we won a lot of games. We won a lot of games on his IQ and on his toughness.
He was ridiculous. He came on here. I remember our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game, because he did everything,
Right.
Points, rebounds, assists, just steals, you name it. Larry has such a great mind for the game, and you know, a great touch. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
He is arguably the most clutch player in NBA history.
While his wars were with Magic, his battles were waged with the rest of the league.
It was a tie game. They had the ball, and DJ was stalling the basketball. And Larry was kind of standing outside behind him, like denying him the ball. And they called a timeout. He turned around and looked at me and said, "I'm going to score right here on you." And I said, "I know you will. I'll be ready."
Still weren't prepared.
5, and Bird has the basketball. Look out. 2 seconds on the clock, and timeout used by the Sonics.
And he shot a turnaround jump shot. And I just looked back, and the ball just went in, hit all net. And he said, "I told you so." Another time, it was when we was playing him. He had like 42. Kemp was a freshman. He told Sean Kemp that I'm the best player to ever come from Indiana and shot a three-pointer in his face, all net. We was like,
Larry uses picks probably better than the players ever played the game. And Larry was on the box, and Robert Parrish was coming down to set a pick on me. The Chief didn't throw a good pick. So while Larry's in the air, he's got the ball right here, and he's screaming at Chief for not setting the pick. And I'm like, you're screaming at a guy in the air for not setting the pick, and he makes the jumper. I'm like, I couldn't believe that.
MJ's Chicago Bulls were swept both times they met Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. He was MVP 3 years in a row while only missing 3 regular season games and averaging 26 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 7 assists per game.
Let me ask you this. Is it fair for me to believe that even black fans, after a while, were perfectly willing to acknowledge that Larry Bird was the baddest white boy ever to shoot a basketball?
Oh, that's easy.
Okay.
Oh, that's easy. I mean, I can tell you right now, Larry Bird could walk, literally in his heyday, he could walk into any black neighborhood in America. And they'd be like, "Hey, that's Larry Bird. Come on over," you know, because he could ball. He could ball. And Dominique Wilkins, you know, said it best. That's a bad boy.
He once scored 20 fourth-quarter points over Dominic Wilkins to seal a playoff victory.
Going against a guy with a competitive edge like you've never seen, and a guy that you couldn't make mistakes against, because he would find a way to hurt you.
And not only that, let's give Larry Bird profound respect. When you could play, first of all, when Larry Bird sat up there and said he didn't see color, I want everybody to know it was truly believable in the black community. Everybody looked at him. Oh, we believe that because Larry Bird didn't care. You could either play or you couldn't.
Even though Larry Bird is appreciated among NBA fans, some of his accomplishments have gone unnoticed.
He was one of the first stretch fours.
Right. Right. We sit
I
there.
mean, we talk about what's going on today. You talk about a guy who was 6'9", 6'10", playing the 4, shooting threes. That was unheard of.
That's crazy. This whole time, Y'all don't be on me, but I had the understanding that Larry Bird was like only like 6'8", and just seeing him standing next to certain players that was like that's of height, and I'm looking like, man, Bird look like this, like the same height as some of these guys. And I know some of these guys like 6'10", close to 7, if not 7 foot. I'm like, man, Bird looks like he's right there with height, and just hearing them say 6'10", like, dude, Bird was a big dude, man.
Heard of back then.
My money, Larry Bird's the greatest big man in terms of shooting the ball ever. I take Larry Bird over Dirk Nowitzki because Dirk is a great shooter.
Most
Larry
definitely.
Bird was a break-your-heart shooter.
He averaged almost as many career rebounds as Shaquille O'Neal and more assists than Damian Lillard has so far in his career.
You know what the age-old question is, Timmy? Oh,
and that's a point
in
guard.
Today's game, right? Because everybody now is bigger, stronger, faster, jumps higher. Is that true? Because I look at Larry Legend and I go, Larry Legend is a legend for a reason, and he can play in any era.
Well, I think his game would have had to adjust.
Also, let me give y'all some game too. Now, granted that they're saying all these guys from this era run faster, jump higher, whatever the case may be. When you get older as a human and as a player, your body can't do the same things that it can do as when you were 20 years old. Like my dad used to always tell me all the time about Kobe. When Kobe was getting down the end of his career, he'd be like, son, this is a young man's game. Which all that, I said it to say, all that explosiveness that you can produce early on in your career, eventually, as you get older, you're going to have to readjust your game. You're not going to be able to do the same stuff. You're not going to be jumping out the gym at 35, 36, doing the same things you can do that you was doing then. Like even Jordan went from being this Air Jordan explosive player to being a more, skilled player. And that's what Bird was from the jump. Even though people try to downplay his athleticism and everything, he was still, you have to be athletic to get to the NBA, first of all. You know what I mean? But he had skill. I would rather have a very skilled player than to have a super athletic player, because at the end of the day, athleticism, it's gonna start to phase down. Like I say, the older you get, skill is something that's gonna take you from the beginning of the game all the way throughout the end, up into your whole career. Skill is nothing that skill is not something that you're gonna lose as you get older. If anything, you gain more skill just from being around the game and learning things that work and that don't work. So that's for the people who say that he can't play in today's league.
Just to the height, size.
I know y'all like how I broke that down.
But think about this. Would have torched a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. These young guys with his basketball IQ. Yeah. He was a grown man. 3 years of college. Oh, and before that, we might have never knew about Larry Legend. He was hauling garbage. Started off in Bloomington at IU, didn't work out there, goes back home, contemplates ever playing again. The fact that he was a grown man against these 20-something-year-old kids, he would have had his way.
Look, as a caveat, growing up, I hated Larry Bird. I was a Sixers guy and Julius Erving. But damn, did you respect the hell out of the guy? Because it just seemed like, he's slower than everybody else. He can't jump. And yet he'd always seem to be open, always seem to get the big rebound, and always seem to make the right pass.
Yeah, I think his basketball IQ is something that goes kind of under the radar. When you think about guys that really know how to play, or teams that really know how to play, you know what those teams and guys do? They win. Yeah. And I think that's what Larry would have done. He would have kept on winning. The interesting thing was, Larry growing up his whole life, no three-point line. Nope. Think about every court he played on, there was no three-point line. If he would have had that, sorry, Dave, mindset from the get-go,
I'm going to need a shot after hearing that.
He averaged 24 points a game over the course of his career. I think it would have been towards 27.
He was a 6'9" forward who averaged more points than Kyrie Irving has, with a better shooting percentage than DeMarcus Cousins, a center, and a better three-point shooting percentage than LeBron James or Michael Jordan. He has so many iconic moments, game winners, and performances.
And Larry Bird would give it to you. And I'm going to tell you something else. When he got into that fight with Dr. J, folks in the black community weren't mad at him. They respected him for it, because we found out why. We were like, oh, that's why he hit you? Oh, well, damn, Doc, something wrong with you. You should have stopped him. That's how we were thinking about it. We like, and we love Julius Erving, but you couldn't take anything away from Bird. Bird was a bad somebody.
Larry Bird was
a bad
the
man.
baddest son of a gun on the planet.
And then we found out it's because Bird said, I'm going to hit this J right here. I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to put this in your face right here. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. And then he did it. He was the bad man.
He was a somebody.
Long before Aaron Rodgers ever came along. He was a bad. Larry Bird was the truth. Ain't no question about that.
Bird's career was cut short because of injuries, but that didn't stop him from putting his name in the greatest of all time conversation.
And there hasn't been anything like him since either.
No. There's only one Larry Bird.
In the 1987 season, he became the founding member of the 50-40-90 club, and he did it again the following season. Not even Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan accomplished that. Not even once.
We will see other, American, Caucasian, I suppose, superstars. Eventually, we'll see more than one, Stephen A. Smith.
I'm not so sure.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird.
No, sir, it will not. There will most definitely not be another Larry Bird. But as you guys can see, that's it for the video. Once again, shout out to Irish Girl for the recommendation. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys have more recommendations, don't be afraid to let me know down in the comment section below. But if you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, click that post notification bell to be notified on all things Rob Television. I'm out this thing. Gang.